One, two, three, and...
Sandwich.
Thank you.
Giving you a whole bunch of roundabout things.
Yeah, it doesn't want to connect.
So now you gotta get like access to your own car. Key's not enough, basically.
That one, because it's keyless entry, as long as you're within 3 feet of the handle, you can lock it without taking it out of your key.
Oh, okay.
Pocket or purse, or you can unlock it.
Well, I mean, you still get like, where there's a key fob or whatever that is.
Yeah, there is.
That's...
As long as that key fob is within 3 feet of the handle, you can lock it or unlock it.
Okay.
You let Dad show you.
But when I'm getting around, I'll be using the older one?
You want to drive tonight?
I'm not, no, not tonight, but when I'm, say, going to Cleveland or going to go see people.
Yeah. You have use of the other one.
The other one, the older one,
yeah,
okay.
Dad took it for...
Yeah, because I'm...
Dad took it for maintenance.
I brought my insurance too.
Okay, good.
Just in case.
Well,
But
the insurance card for that car will be there too.
Sure. But yeah, I don't think I'll be, because even when I had my loaner, like I kept forgetting that, like, oh yeah, that's right, I don't need a key. So it was always throwing me off. So.
Okay, we are sorry he does not have a vehicle. I went there.
No, yeah, I haven't had a chance to watch Westworld yet. Is it any good?
That's okay.
How is it compared to the other seasons?
Somewhat more straightforward than last season.
Is what's his name in it? Aaron Paul?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. It kind of lost me a little bit with the last season.
Yeah.
So I'm not in a hurry to get to it. I'm guessing there's a lot of Storm programming now. Now it's summer.
Oh, I don't know. That's the first time I've ever seen this. This is
Wow, he kind of looks like Bill Paxton, honestly.
that guy looks like Kevin. What's his name?
Kevin James.
Yeah.
Just because he's a big guy.
His face is similar.
Well, no, it's like that skinny guy that was with him looked a lot like Bill Paxton. I'm like, oh yeah, Twister. That makes sense.
He's dead.
Yeah, well,
Why
unfortunately,
he dying?
he had cancer, I think.
There's the King of Queens.
I don't see the Kevin James. Morning. What time did you all get up?
Oh, 7:30. I got out.
I got up at 7:30.
Good. I think we all collectively got up at 7:30.
What?
Roglic withdrew.
Which one?
He withdrew from the
Oh.
tour because of injuries. So they're racing it. So then the 30 centigrade, which means it's really hot. So I taped it so we can watch the end in Carcassonne.
Do you want juice then?
No thanks.
Yeah, do you want fruit salad? Or you saving that for later?
Yeah, please have some.
Is that thunder or is it?
Yeah.
It's like, or did someone move something? Well, I'm not going far.
Where is it?
It's like 15 minutes away. He's down in Powell.
Mm.
It's like down the road from.
What road is it?
I don't know. I have it in my text, but I'm gonna put it in my maps before I go, just in case, just so I have the exact number.
I'm glad the Belgian waffle maker is still good.
We'll take a picture of the finished product to show Auntie Grace. Okay?
Oh, the waffles? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right, because you brought that
Uncle Vic got his waffle maker.
line.
We had two. It's a double waffle maker, so.
Wow, it is.
Wow, yeah.
So used to living my life unobserved.
Hey,
Man, how you doing?
good, good. Good to see you, man.
Yeah.
Glad we were able to get together.
Absolutely.
Let's see.
Don't mind my dog. She's not gonna move or bark.
It's so cool. What's her name?
Cutie.
Cutie. Hey. It's a nice place you got here.
Thanks, man. My daughter and I have been working on it.
Cool.
Lots of cons, lots of money.
Yeah, I was about to say. So horror then is the big thing for y'all.
Yes, we love horror. She had actually never seen Trick or Treat. I bought that picture. She's like, that looks cute. I'm like, well, you have to watch the movie now if I'm going to buy the picture. So we bought the picture.
Nice.
Yeah, my favorite is Pooh as Ash.
Pooh as Ash. Oh yeah, was that made by Sean?
No,
That was
somebody else. Yeah.
nice. Man, yeah, I don't think I've seen this new place. I know I used to come around a couple years back when you were still at a different house.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know we had the setup there and so forth, but no, this is a nice setup. Really cool.
Thanks, man.
How have things been? How you been?
Good. Good. Spend most of my time with my daughter, watching TV,
Nice.
scrolling through Netflix and stuff. Usually, is what I spend most of my time doing until I actually find something that's worth watching.
Yeah, I see you got your collection as well going.
Yeah.
So, wow, that's really cool. What all's been changing since last time I was around these parts?
Nothing really. It's getting harder to get the podcast together on a set time, so we're changing that up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But for the most part, nothing's really changed. I mean, Max is married now, so
Mm-hmm.
that's different.
Yeah.
But no, not a whole lot.
It's really weird coming back and trying to just see like what all's consistently the same and what all's been different with regards to that, especially this week of all weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you planning on going to much of the reunion stuff? Or?
I'll be at some of it. I share some of the same philosophy Max does, which is a lot of the people from high school that I really want to hang out with, I do on a pretty regular basis, at least through the internet with you guys. But I do want to see some people. There's some specific people that I haven't seen in forever that I want to check back in with. But
Yeah.
it's easier nowadays because of Facebook. I know what everybody's up to, and that's usually why people go to those things, is to see what everybody's been up to.
True. It's kind of the double-handed thing, though, because, like, with Facebook, yeah, you get to catch up with some people, but then also it's like you witness maybe some things that you weren't privy to before. That you're kind of like, oh, interesting take on that, or
Yeah, or couple fighting, which is always a lot of fun.
well, that's the thing. It's like I'm so not just physically, but like figuratively distant from all that I'm like, that's your guys' battle. I don't even know. You all settle that however you see fit.
Yeah, no, I agree.
That has been my only primary like contact, has been you all through the podcast. It's been all like virtual, all social media related.
You and I have actually become better friends than we were in high school, which has been nice.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're in the same circles.
Yeah.
But
I'd say we hang out more consistently, ironically, now than maybe we did back then.
yeah, well, I mean, high school, you're still trying to figure out your orbit, and some people just gravitate into different orbits a little bit easier. Like, I definitely think that, I mean, I think you were one of those people, absolutely, that, like, was a little bit more of a social butterfly than probably me at that point. I was very much in band.
Yeah, well, I faked a lot of it till I made it.
Faked a lot of it till you made it.
Faked a lot, yeah.
How so?
I always overdose myself on social activities because I am naturally an introvert. I like to be home,
Mm-hmm.
and I do not put that out in the universe. Everybody thinks that I'm a butterfly, which I do. I enjoy it sometimes, but after a while, it gets to be much. I like to just sit on the couch with the dog and watch a movie.
Right. Yeah. So this is the den area. Do you do somewhere separate for like podcasting?
Yeah, it's upstairs.
Cool.
Yeah, I can show you.
Sure. Yeah, I'd love to see this thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
So this is where you run all the podcasting then? All the
Yeah,
stuff?
when we're not in the same room, this is where I'm usually sitting.
Okay. What program do you end up using?
StreamYards.
StreamYard.
And then I usually have Facebook here, and then I have the YouTube stream going here, so I can monitor if there's any
Simultaneous like comments
positives and so forth.
Yeah. Is this what you would have anticipated yourself doing around this age? Like,
No, I thought I'd always be too nervous to do it.
Hmm.
I always wanted to do something like radio type thing
mm-hmm.
because I grew up a huge Stern fan, and I always thought the honest conversation was fascinating to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I never thought I'd have the guts to do it though.
Yeah.
And then I started watching your stuff, and then that kind of influenced me to try it.
Oh, just like me talking about stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. I never would have expected, like, I would have gotten into this. Also because, you know, podcasts were not even a thing for us.
Yeah.
Probably when we were younger, but it's trippy. I guess that's part of it, too. Later this week, like, what do I tell people? Like, yeah, I have this as my day job, but also my passion is this, and this. It's like...
Yeah, if somebody paid me to do this, I would be so happy.
I try to keep track of what everyone's, like, changes in life are. Like, so-and-so got married, so-and-so had this many kids, and so-and-so works here. That's the thing. It's like, I completely... It's not for lack of interest, because, you know, I hang out with you guys, like you mentioned, on a pretty regular basis, at least online, but we don't really talk about specifics like, say, working at Safelite, or working for this other company, or moving our store to another location. And it's just like... Because you don't necessarily delve into, like, what I'm doing with regards to, you know, my other job, my day job, I guess.
Yeah, it would be a fascinating episode of Three Geeks.
To delve into the more serious side of things.
Let's get personal.
Yeah.
That'd be a good last video episode.
Yeah, there we go. The mask is off.
Yeah.
Kind of be like, okay, here's what we've all been really thinking. Hope you follow us for audio only. I guess that's what I'm kind of anticipating on Saturday.
Yeah.
Is I'm really, really curious where some people are right now. I mean, they probably... Because that's the thing, if we follow each other on social media, we're not giving 100% of, like, an honest story.
Yeah, no, and some people don't have social media. Like, one of my friends, he moved to Japan, and we stayed in touch pretty well until, I'd say, about 2012, which is pretty good post-high school. Somebody lives in another country.
Yeah.
But something just happened, and we lost contact with each other. I haven't seen him since, or heard from him since. It's been 21 years. Isn't that fascinating? It just blows your mind.
If it's fascinating and a little bit depressing. Because, oh my god, 21 years being in high school. I don't know about you, but I still feel like fresh out of senior year.
Me personally, I feel like I'm the same guy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a lot more mature, and I acknowledge that I did a lot of stupid things back then that I wouldn't do now.
Sure.
But I still feel like the same overall person. It seems like it was yesterday, and quite literally. I keep trying to explain that to my daughter, is it goes so fast.
I guess I'm kind of in a similar boat where I feel like it was just yesterday, but also in terms of the fact that, like, I'm a ball of nerves that I was back then, too, about what's outside of high school.
Yeah.
Like, going into college, going into my first internship or job, and that whole idea of, is this me finally adulting? Am I going to screw this up? Terrifying. That 20 years of that, pretty much. You know?
I will say I've learned not to let the little things bother me, because, you know, when you're in high school, every little thing drives you nuts, or you think it's the end of the world.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god, this person said something about me behind my back. Oh my god.
I mean, at that point, I just kind of let it go to the idea of, like,
Who cares?
Yeah,
That's
who
how
cares?
I look at it. Now, it's like, who cares? That's that person's thought. Whatever.
I guess that's what I'm also curious about, is, like, how many old habits are going to suddenly resurge being around this particular dynamic of people, you know? Am I going to fall back into some of the nerdy, nervous habits I had back in high school, or is someone going to fall back into their habits they had in high school?
I can say from experience that when you get together with that core group, because my core group, they're all married and have kids. Like, when I get together with the guys from high school, we all fall back into who we were in high school almost instantaneously. It's always a good time. It brings back memories. But I could never sustain that level of energy that we have when we're together for more than that 1 hour a year that we get together.
Yeah. I guess it's good to sample it, but not like, I'm not going to go back to this.
No, it's exhausting.
Yeah. I guess in that way we have really changed in that. Like, we can revisit, but we don't have to settle for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, if somebody mentions going out drinking all night, I'm like, ugh. Can't do that. I did that hard in my 20s when I was doing karaoke stuff.
Yeah. Well, now I noticed that's very much my situation now, is that when I was in my 20s and I go out and, like, the world is ours, ooh, gonna own it tonight and just dive into shot after shot with zero consequences, and there'll always be one older individual just sitting at the bar rolling their eyes. And I used to be like, it's never gonna be me. And then sure enough, like, that's me. Especially I've noticed in the past year, whenever I do go out to places, you know, it's not as, like you said, not as often given the way the world has been, but like I go out to places and I find myself just kind of sequestering down in a corner with like nursing one drink, and I'm like, oh, these kids.
I do the same thing. Like I'll be leaving McDonald's, something as simple as that, and there'll be a group of teenagers hanging out in a parking lot, and I'll catch myself going, "Oh, they're so annoying," knowing that I did the exact same thing.
Yeah.
I just hung out in the parking lot. Like there was nothing that they were doing that was wrong. It's just there was a lot of them, and I'm like, "Oh, these goofy guys! They need to find something to do other than hang out in a parking lot."
And they'll be doing the exact same thing with another round of another generation of kids. And, man, I just can't believe we're at that point. This is like, it's been a little surreal so far.
Mm-hmm.
So. All right, well, I guess I'll see you on Saturday, man.
Yeah, if not before then.
Cool.
Feel free to hit me up.
Absolutely, man. It was good touching base and actually seeing the place for what it is.
All right, awesome.
All right, take care. This is like technically only the second or third time that you and I have actually like met in person.
Yeah, because I'm trying to think. Like it's been what now? 4 or 5 years I've known the crew.
Yeah, about 4 or 5 years.
And I know that you and I hung out in person at a couple of Wizard Worlds.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think one time over Jason's old place.
Yeah, back when he had the house.
Yeah, and the rest of the time it's been kind of, like virtual.
Screen.
Yeah. Which I guess I still marvel at it. I know this is ridiculous to say, given it's 2022, but I still marvel at like the ability of technology to bring people together.
Mm-hmm.
Especially with the last couple of years that we've had. Like I feel like that's one of the positives. I hate to say that because it's not really a positive thing what we've gone through, but it's one of the positives.
A silver lining, let's say,
yes,
on an unbelievably crappy situation.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. So
no, that's true, and definitely like the idea of. I was talking to Jason about this actually earlier. The idea of like how social media has become sort of a way to just catch up with people.
Yeah.
So really efficiently, really easily.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think for the purposes of, being a content creator, when you look at, putting out your content, the ability to talk to somebody clear around the world. Mm-hmm. I still, when I look at some of the countries of some of the people I've talked to on my podcast, Italy, Philippines, England, like that would never have been able to happen 10 years ago, 20 years ago.
Right.
30 years ago. Which, I don't know about you, but in my mind, still 30 years ago is like 1975. You're like, oh, no. Shit.
Yeah.
That's not...
Yep.
No, it's the 90s, John.
Yep, we're definitely... Well, you're a little bit older than I am.
Yes.
I believe. So,
yeah.
So, yeah, we're technically of, like, different generations, so to speak. And
yeah, but age to me doesn't bother me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, to me, that's just I've always... Because it was ingrained in me as a kid from my dad. that, like, age is an excuse people use for not doing what they want to do. I can't go back to college. I'm too old. How many times have you heard that?
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
Oh, my kid can't play soccer in that league. Because if he plays with the next a year older, 2 years older kids, he won't be any good. Well, if you really want him to be good, I mean, play against older kids. You know, if you really want to go back to school, why not? Why can't you go back to school? Why can't you start a podcast? Why can't you shoot a movie? You know, why can't you do those things? Oh, I'm too old, or I'm not old enough, or whatever.
The thing is, I feel you don't try to make it too demanding of you. Don't place too many high expectations on, how can I be, like you said, be able to kind of take on a new skill or anything like that and expect to like master it instantaneously, or just to kind of like take it at your own pace, whatever's comfortable for you at that point, because we have a lot more time allotted to us than probably we realize.
You're absolutely right. So to me, age is just another one of those excuses that people use. So everything's good with you?
Everything is really good.
That's good. Excellent.
Overall,
Excellent. Yeah. Well, it's never going to be perfect, Mike. It's never going to be perfect.
Like you said, it's never going to be perfect. But especially, I don't know, it's been more surreal these past couple of days I've been back. It's been very surreal just because it is the first time I've spent, let's say, an abundant amount of time back home.
Sure.
But also with a specific kind of set of agendas in mind where it's about purposely reconnecting with people. And people that I definitely haven't seen or heard from in 20-some years.
Okay.
Well, I guess I'm curious, since, you're a little bit older than me, like, you've had a fair amount of high school reunions, right?
I suppose. I only went to one.
Okay.
And
which one was it?
10-year.
10-year, okay.
And I actually didn't go to the actual class reunion. I went to the icebreaker the night before. I did not enjoy my high school experience. I'll just throw that out there first of all. So I went with a chip on my shoulder a little bit.
Being like, fine, guess.
Yeah, and it turned out being a debacle of a night because I had friends that weren't even like friends of mine in high school. In fact, they were college friends, and they went with me, and they were like screwing around with people like, "Hey, don't you remember me? I'm Jim. I had study hall with you." And I'm like, "Dude, come on, man. You were still living in Nebraska, But and not to mention, I had a few too many cocktails, so it was a giant.
You got honest
shit storm, if you will. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to be just taking it easy at mine, just kind of being like, keep it copacetic. I haven't seen these people in a while, but I mentioned to Jason again earlier, like, I'm very curious to see where everyone is at this point in their lives.
When I look back at that high school experience, I had a shitty experience, but 50% of that was my responsibility. You know how, I think that's the thing. As you get older, you start looking back, you go, you know what, really, if I had just changed my mindset, maybe things wouldn't have been so bad.
What do you have to offer yourself to enrich your experience a little bit more if no one else was going to?
Right, exactly. Being the kid that loved professional wrestling, I was an outlier because, at that particular time period, it wasn't the Hulk Hogan era. It was the post-Hogan era where wrestling wasn't as popular.
Right.
So I'm standing out that way. I'm standing out because I'm the guy that liked to read comic books. I'm standing out because I'm the guy that loved hockey and played this sport that a lot of people didn't understand, except for a small group of folks. And you know what? I should have just been proud of those things instead of like being conflicted as to whether I should do what the cool kids are doing and still keep true to myself. And it's all bullshit. I should have just been myself and just, But you don't have that confidence.
Yeah, well, I feel that's a lot of the hindsight is 2020, and how I'm sure there are plenty of people, and myself included, like I relate a lot to what you were saying with regards to that it's wish, could have, should have, would have, but you know what, you take the experience that you were given. Right.
And I oftentimes would think, if I went to a bigger high school, would have had a better high school experience because I went to a very small high school. So
how big was your graduating class?
125.
Okay, yeah, that is small.
Yeah, so I mean, I think that compounded the problem. You know, if I had gone to like your high school, there's probably more pockets of kids. That I could have found a better space than what I found. But you live and you learn. I don't know if I know where you went to school. You know what you do?
No, I went to Southeast Ohio University, the other Ohio University.
Okay, the more cool, laid-back, easy-going Ohio school.
I guess. Got away with a lot of stuff.
I was just going to say that I get somewhat overwhelmed with the amount of love, quote-unquote, for OSU.
Especially around this area, because it's really galvanized because it's a central hub. And
right, yeah.
Yeah, it's like...
Yeah.
But...
Can't be as low-key as beautiful Otterbein here.
Otterbein, I think, was one of the schools I was considering back in my senior year, or junior year, I guess, was when I started looking. But yeah, Otterbein was one of the schools, but I think that's what turned me into Ohio University to begin with, is because it had the same feel, like an open kind of campus here, but also was further away from home, and I was like slowly but surely trying to work my way
I got you.
From home.
Understand.
Pretty nice view.
Yeah, man. This is really some cool architecture down here at the amphitheater.
This reminds me actually a lot of, in Athens, when we went to OU, there was an amphitheater by the Scripps School of Journalism. And right down the street from that would be like this public access studio that I used to go in and edit some videos for, and I actually had some videos play on public access.
Oh, yeah. I'm familiar with the channel.
Really?
Yeah, years ago, late 90s, I was helping to produce a wrestling show. So I physically had to run tapes down there because that was the old 3/4-inch tape.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Jeez. Oh my gosh.
So I would run down there every once in a while, but it got to be so much of a pain in the neck. I was like,
I'm sure.
Yeah, it was diminishing returns. Like, it wasn't really.
When did they broadcast those shows? Like, because I remember public access being like really weird scheduling in terms of times for shows.
I don't remember what the play was on that. I can't remember. I can't for the life of me. It was probably once or twice in the middle of the night. Again, it was not worth going down there to drop off these tapes, so I just was like,
I remember, so the main office of it was a small office,
yes.
But they would have a couple of like iMac stations set up, and that would interface with my very old DV camera, and so it would take forever for me to like render something, and then I'd have to transfer it at home onto a VHS so that they could play the VHS at like 4 a.m. in the morning, because they couldn't show our stuff because we did a lot of drinking and cursing.
Okay.
It was very much the real world Athens in a house for us. But yeah, it was, I remember it being a trip though, because there would be a lot of weird stuff on public access.
I think that's what public access is all about, man. Public access TV was all about just the weirdest, crazy shit you could get on the air. Here in Columbus, I remember the public access channel had some really wild stuff on it. Man, it was good catching up.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, definitely. If you got more free time through the week, hit me up, man.
Sure.
If you want, I mean.
No, it's fun hanging out with you. It's
absolutely. Like you said, it's been, God, forever. Since anybody's ever seen anybody. Thanks COVID.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, most definitely. If you got some free time, we'll go hang out some other time. Even if the other guys want to come along too, that'd be great.
That'd be kind of fun, honestly. Cool. Just because it's not about just reconnecting with like people I haven't seen in 20 plus years, but also the people I've recently kind of established some connection with. So it's good to be able to, again, meet in person finally instead of across from a screen.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Mike.
All right,
take it easy.
Take care.
All right.
See ya.
That's not too bad.
This is endemic of people who will not stop when police try to pull them over, and this is the kind of thing that happens. East Cleveland often pursues, and they don't break up the pursuit, and this is the result. So,
I like this guy. He always has like extra.
Well, Channel 19 in general, they'll make like extra little remarks about things. Like,
Yeah.
They don't seem to. Weird looking dude. It's like an uglier version of that same weird looking dude.
Oh, that poor guy.
And the second one, it was Uma Masseuse is here. This guy said Uma Masseuse is here. Michelle, and then he answers the door, and there's a guy doing a weird Eastern European accent saying, "I am Michelle. I am here to give you a rub." And yeah, I don't know what, but the worst part was the woman's line. It just cut off the start of it for that Seal on a Mission commercial, because it used to be, sometimes things aren't always what they seem.
I guess.
Which is highly, highly redundant.
Yeah.
It's either sometimes things aren't what they seem, or things aren't always what they seem.
Thank you.
You have to scroll with this like this on this.
Yes.
Okay.
Obviously, if they're one, they're both.
What are y'all getting?
I'm gonna get the
you can just
2x4.
use the up and down arrows if you don't want to.
The 2x4 breakfast. Wayman's getting the big and nasty. Will you share your hash browns with me? So I don't have to get a side of hash browns.
Honestly, big and nasty sounds really good too. I think I'm gonna get a big and nasty as well.
All of my eggs over medium, please.
I'll do my egg scrambled.
That's pretty embarrassing. Now is the time for you to try Nutrisystem with food that is new for 2022. It's hard to even believe this food could help you lose.
I definitely wasn't feeling like myself. Mentally, it was a difficult time for me.
Okay. Good. I look forward to working with you.
He's not in there.
Do
you want to play with the thing? The keyboard? You want to play with the keyboard?
I got her earphones.
Yeah,
I got her
big ones.
little headphones.
So they're just basically noise canceling.
Yeah, I think so.
Kind of interesting if they did like a noise canceling, but also give it like soothing. That's a little setup you got where you can anytime sounds.
Yeah, we've been doing that since the beginning. We have a noise machine, and it didn't seem to really work that well. It took a long time to find something that worked.
It was also really early on, and was in the bedroom when both of us were in there.
Yeah.
Which the whole reason you want them sleeping in the bedroom with you is so they don't sleep too deeply and do wake up on a regular basis. So, because when they're really little, I guess you don't want them sleeping too deeply.
Yeah, the first 3 months she slept in the pack-and-play. She did sleep in her nursery because you want to be able to, like for SIDS.
Yeah. Right. And it was up like next on my side of the bed.
I guess that's when everything really hit me this week, you know? When I was driving back from their place and spending time with them and this beautiful, beautiful child. And seeing like this life that they're building for themselves and feeling happy that they're building this life for themselves, but also thinking to myself like, well, what am I building? And people have mentioned before, like, you know what, this is a common feeling. Just living your life day by day, that in and of itself is something, but yeah, living day by day, but towards what end? What am I have nothing that I've really set my heart on in terms of a want or a need or something down the line that I would wish to attain. And it feels like half my life is done with already. Realistically speaking, half my life is done. And where's this all going, basically? And I don't know, maybe I was hoping coming back and revisiting, you know, familiar places and people and reconnecting with my roots would give some clarity to that. But I just feel more directionless than ever. And I guess I'm just wondering where I go from here, you know? Like I said, where's this all leading to? What do I want ultimately? And I know you're not my therapist, you know.
But that's okay, man. You got to talk to somebody, and I don't mind, you know, being that individual. But Mike, I have to be honest with you. From what we talked about earlier in the week, yeah. I can't wrap my mind around this idea that when you say, well, my life is half over, and that's true, that's accurate, but to me, you still have a whole other half to go, and you still have plenty of opportunities. I know that sounds so cliched, I know. In fact, I feel like I might barf here in a minute just because I'm being so cliched, but I mean, you know, like I told you the other day, I don't believe in this idea that age defines what we do, or age defines anything other than this is how long we've been on this mortal coil. I think you should take time to try to figure out what it is that you want to do.
Yeah.
You do lots of things really, really well, so I would focus in on those things and see if making videos or podcasting, you know, excites you, or, you know, if it's something else. I don't know. Maybe you try another new hobby, you know. Maybe that would help it out. I mean, I guess the big question is, overall, are you happy with every aspect of your life?
For what it is, yeah, I guess I am happy.
Okay, well, that's a positive. That's a positive, because there's some people that aren't happy with, you know, with every aspect of their life. I have not. I've had personal times where things were crappy and professionally things were going smooth, and vice versa. So, I mean, count yourself lucky that you're, you know, that you're not in that situation. All right, when it comes to the class reunion, Mike, I wouldn't worry about it. Half those people down there are going to put on an air, and they're going to fake it because they haven't made it, and they're going to tell you how awesome it is to be the CEO of their mutual fund corporation or whatever, and they have a wonderful life with 2 great kids and a wife, but they're not going to tell you, oh, my wife is cheating on me with a pool boy, or et cetera, et cetera. They're not going to tell you all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to tell you about how great everything is, and I mean, fine, wonderful, great for you. Don't let that bother you, though.
Yeah.
It's fake. It's just all fake.
Yeah. I guess it is to the point that, yeah, you really don't know what other people are going through. So this is, it is kind of silly projecting of like what I feel is my own inadequacies onto other people's situations when they're probably going through, you know, a very pertinent struggle themselves.
Yeah.
Even if it seems like they're light years ahead in terms of what they want to accomplish in their life and so forth. Yeah.
And I also think there's some people that are in the same boat as you, but they won't do anything about it. They bitch and complain about, you know, oh, I haven't accomplished all my goals. Well, start working on them. Get a plan to try to start working on them. You know, and don't get me wrong, I'm a procrastinator too, because you and I have talked about my film projects and how they have drug on and on. So I know I'm in a glass house and I should not throw stones. But, I mean, start taking some steps. These people need to start taking some steps to try to figure things out. So.
Yeah, I guess.
You got time, man. You got time. You got time to think about what you want to do, what you would like to do, and, you know, again, you have to figure that out for yourself. I can't tell you what to do on that. I mean, other than encourage you, try something new. I don't know, go skydiving, or pick up a new instrument, or, I don't know, start your own synth rock band. I mean...
That would be really cool, honestly. That would be great.
I mean, you know, we need another Pet Shop Boys.
Yeah, sure. That'll work.
I'm glad you're not like, Pet Shop Boys. God damn it, John. I hate them. Oh, sorry. My bad.
It works. It works. No, you're right. It's just, you gotta find something. There's always something, I guess. Yeah, so I believe you found some drums. Yeah, that's definitely my locker, though. Oh yeah, they never updated too much stuff, I don't think. We'd like to think that some massive like overhauls have taken place since last time we were here, but it's...
They have film classes here now.
Great! That's awesome.
When I skip class, I'd be right over there. By the
You skipped class, man? Wow. So responsible of you. You're a father now, sir. How dare you?
I've been honest with Kylie about it.
Oh yeah, no.
I want her to not do the same.
We used to I used to duck out whenever I'd have free period or whatever. I think I think Brady and some other people, we ducked out a couple of times for like Burger King or something like that, and then came back when our free period was up because we still had classes.
Yeah, I remember going to McDonald's when a hamburger was still 79 cents and a cheeseburger was 89 cents.
Mm-hmm. It was whatever was down the road there on Hard Road.
Yeah, sometimes they had deals where you could get like 10 cheeseburgers for $5. Now you can barely get a cheeseburger for $5.
Is that really what sticks out in the memory for us now? Is like the great deals we had on food when we were skipping.
My whole life consists of food and movies. Like I can pinpoint a movie to any. That's how I remember memories. Yeah.
Nice association.
Like, Kylie and I have a drive, and I can point out where every video store was, and I couldn't tell you where anything else was.
Right. Man, maybe it'll come more to me as we go around the way there.
I feel like I should be passing notes.
Yeah. Honestly, yeah.
I think now kids pass text messages.
Yeah, there's no need for like handwritten notes anymore.
We weren't even allowed to have pagers in school. We were allowed to have cell phones.
Yeah, honestly, because flip phones weren't even a thing for us. Even senior year, was it?
I had a flip phone senior year. Vic gave me.
Oh, okay. But it was like, what would have been the big thing then? Like a Razor?
No, it was like a Sprint. It was like a really big phone.
Okay.
It was a big flip phone.
Oh, so like a car phone?
Battery.
Like a car phone then. Almost. The charger was like a little proton pack for it. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I was wondering, because I was thinking like, yeah, I remember this being detention, but was this also another classroom?
Maybe. I don't know. I just spent time here for detention. For skipping
What'd you
class.
get? Oh, for skipping class. Okay.
Yeah, I'd always listen to whatever the hot hip hop album of the week was in here with my head down, headphones in.
Jeez. I don't think I ever got into detention once. I got into detention in middle school, and that wasn't my fault though, because I felt I had to take the fall for somebody. and it messed me up for a while. But
Never did anything super bad. Just skip a class.
Nah, I think the worst thing that any of us ever did, or at least that we were part of, was the senior prank, whatever, bang night during band camp. We just left the toilet out in the field. I think.
We did toilet papering.
We did toilet papering too.
Lots of toilet paper. It was fun. I was in Colin. I don't want to say the last name. I was in Colin's band with T from band camp, and it was a good time.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I know who you're talking about. I remember that band. Oh, he and I for the what was it? The last day. The night before, he and I spent the whole night like filling up like perfume smelling water balloons, and then we lined all the exits with like shaving cream or like the foam that would immediately foam up when you make contact with it. So when people came running out, they'd like slipping and stuff. And then he had a slingshot in his sliding door side. So
I remember that. Yeah.
You'd open up the van and just be like,
black van.
Yes, I remember the black van. The black like brick of a van too.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time in Thames, Corsica. It's like this little blue car that somehow we managed to fit like 12 people into. And Fuzzy's van, the red van. Used to clean windshields outside in the parking lot as people were leaving school.
Courteous. I mean, courteous. Did he have like a tip jar or anything at least?
Yeah.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Good.
We took a home stereo and like souped up his van with like big home stereo speakers. We had a record player sitting on a pillow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great.
Man, it's slowly but surely it is coming back to me now.
You remember the things with the people you hang out regularly with,
Mm-hmm.
and then you remember the other things with like somebody we know purchased Max's house.
Oh.
House, traveling home, and we went in. It was like a flood of memories, just smacked you in the face, just like in the movies that you see. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Like I was watching.
Wow.
This was my least favorite hall.
Why was this the least favorite?
Science. I had a science class with Julia Fernandez, Brady Oxinger. I can't remember the other.
I remember
it was Selwyn or Max, but I can't remember which one. I think it was Selwyn.
You just didn't like the subjects, or was it more?
I don't know. Science, I just never understood science, I guess. I don't know. Math was my subject in high school, and English, because I could write a paper in like an hour and get an A on it.
Not relevant to what you're just saying, but like just thinking about Florida. Diana and I had like talked recently. We understand stuff.
As soon as the light turned red, you saw the evil in his eye.
The other one I do is spelling bee. New York Times. I'll show it to you.
Yeah, speaking of which, it should be coming here.
What it is you have those letters,
Mhm.
and you need to use
As many as possible.
Yeah, and they'll tell you, for example, they expect
122.
122 points.
But you don't have to use all of them in one go. Like it could be like
No,
3-letter
no,
words or
yeah.
things like that. Yeah.
4
I've
letters.
done 4 letters. I've done stuff like that. Yeah.
So yeah.
This looks really good. This is good hangover food.
Okay.
Honestly, I'm not hungover. I'm just buzzed.
Well, that's good food. I don't care.
Aaron's mom posted the comment.
What did she say?
She said, how all, you've all grown.
Especially that one in the middle.
The one in the blue shirt.
In the blue shirt, yeah.
Which is Aaron.
Yeah, he's like.
He's tall.
He's tall now. Well.
Did he play basketball?
Thank you, guys. Swimming.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Such a treat to have you.
And then it was good. I'm glad I did make this.
Grace to the powers that be that we've got together.
May I have your attention, please? The terminal at John Glenn International Smoke-Free Environment designated outside smoking areas are provided to you.